Waiting for something to happen.
Hello everybody, this is me and G, and we are here to give you some practical parenting podcast goodness
Gracious.
thing.
Me. I like that me, G, and we.
Me, G, and weenie pig.
No one's going to understand that, even though we've talked about it before. Anyway, never mind.
It's very sunny here today and very hot. There must be at least 5 degrees out there. But
Well, the sun
very
is, you
hot.
can see that. If you're watching the video, you can actually see that I've got this
You're hot.
I've got this patch of sun on me,
Yeah,
and it's rather warm. In fact,
Look at
it's
these
actually going to.
zebra
I'm going to
stripes.
get I'm actually going to get sun on one arm and not on the other, which is a bit odd.
Yeah, it's
gonna have to hide
beautiful.
behind
It's
you.
very hot behind this window, actually. It's like, whew.
Why does it look like behind the window?
Well, how do you say it?
Inside.
Inside the
behind is on the other side, and you're on this side, right?
window. So you say inside the window. How do you
No,
say
you
that
can't
you're-
get inside a bloody window. How do you get inside?
So how do you say
Could you
it when
please
you're-
climb inside the window?
How do you say
that?
it when you're
Flat.
right behind the window and inside? I mean, when you're right next to the window.
You said it. You just said it.
Right behind the window inside.
Yes.
Okay. That's just too long.
Yeah, because behind is on the other side. That's what it means.
It's super hot. I would take this off, but that would not be suitable. I mean, you know.
Well, no one will see anything. You're too small.
No. Oh, that would be even sexier.
Low. I meant low. What?
That's even worse.
What?
You're low. You're low.
Yellow. It's a color.
I have a toothache again. I thought it was gone for good. And now it came just now, like
It's called stress. It's
Like
the stress
2
of doing a
minutes ago.
podcast.
stress. This is not stressful for me. This is wonderful. I love to talk to you on the podcast.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
damn.
Oh,
Damn.
it's not stressing me out at all.
Damn again. Tell us about your tooth.
My tooth hurts. It's very painful, but I can't really have it fixed because I'm sorting out. Ow, actually hurts.
Parenting-y thingy.
Because I'm sorting out official stuff, right? Because I'm changing my.
Stuffing.
I need health insurance, but in order to have health insurance, I have to sort out my whatchamacallit,
See,
the permanent residence, and I have to do that.
If I didn't have to pay social insurance, then I'd have lots of money for health insurance. Isn't that crazy? If the government didn't forcibly take money away from me in order to give it to other people who don't do anything, then there'd be lots of money for healthcare.
Anyway, it hurts like hell. I'm not even sure if it's the tooth anymore. It just hurts my entire, like, everything here, like the bone.
It hurts my entire everything here.
Yeah,
What does
the
that
cheek and the ear, the whole side of
your
my
bone.
head
Does
just
your bone
hurts.
hurt?
Yeah, it's quite brutal. And anyway, what helps a little bit is
good for the kickboxing training. You can
right.
just-
Yeah, I do feel like somebody punched me really hard in the face on this side here.
Is it just on one side?
Yeah.
Would you like a balance?
No. Anyway, yeah, salty mouth rinses help a little bit. It's like a short-term help. And yeah, I'm testing out the what do you call it? Hydrogen peroxide rinses as well. That should help theoretically.
Is hydrogen what? This is going to be like a really dumb question. Like, what is hydrogen peroxide? Is it hydrogen plus peroxide?
Yes.
What the hell is peroxide?
Uh,
I know what oxygen is. I know what oxidation is.
Okay, I think
What's
hydrogen peroxide.
peroxide?
I think hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. No, water is H2O, but hydrogen peroxide. I think this might be
that be-
really
would-
stupid and
would-
really wrong, but I think it's H2O2. Something in the
That
back of
doesn't
my
make
head
sense.
says that. No.
Well, H2O2 would be dihydrogen dioxide, no?
I don't know, G. I really don't know. But things sometimes have
Rather
weird
than-
names in chemistry. Anyway, I've read that it's good, to do mouth rinses with that, and it seemed to have helped yesterday, but obviously not long term because it's back today. But it's not anywhere near to what it was 2 days ago. That was brutal.
What does the internet say you should do if you've got toothache? Apart from
go to the dentist.
Apart from visit the dentist.
Oh, it just says visit the dentist. I got the salt rinses from the internet. I didn't know that was, a good idea. And it helped it's like instant relief, but when it only lasts for about 2 minutes when it really hurts.
Well, it really is instant relief then.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to do it like every 2 minutes, and then your mouth is like all the salt, It's not very good. So, yeah.
You could just swim in salty water with your mouth open.
Maybe.
It's probably not very practical.
Anyway, I know that clove oil helps, but I'm out of oil, funnily enough.
And cloves.
I do have some cloves, but I ran out of oil. I only have butter.
How do you make oil
actually.
from cloves?
Well, either you can have essential oil made out of cloves, which I don't, and you dilute that, or you take cloves and surprisingly put them in oil.
What kind of oil?
Just any type of olive oil is good, actually. I have read that just massaging olive oil onto the tooth may help, but if you put cloves in it, maybe heat it up a little bit, not into like a frying the cloves, but just warm it up a little bit to let the goodness out of the cloves faster, and then you basically macerate it. And macerate.
Excuse me.
Macerate. Is that a verb? Is that a verb?
It might be,
English
but
language?
I'm not aware of it.
When you put something in somewhere and you leave it there for a long time to kind of, to goodness, get out of the cloves and get into the oil, and then you put it on. But also you can if you don't have an oil, and I did this, is you can just use the cloves as they are. Just put them in your mouth and you kind of munch it, crunch it, and massage it around.
Cloves.
Really disgusting.
Lunch. Lovely.
Yeah, it's really disgusting, but it kind of makes the area numb. So for a while. But obviously, I need to go to the dentist. Obviously, right?
Obviously.
It's just a matter of time right now.
There we go.
Which reminds me, I have to call the
dentist,
the landlord, because I can't do anything until I get him to come with me to the office.
What? Again?
Yeah.
He must be getting pissed off.
You think?
Yes, I imagine.
And they also need another listvarsnitstva from the kataster. That's why I was looking for it, but the police took it from you. So
the police took everything from me.
Yeah.
And gave me a little card.
Yeah.
With my own picture on it in case I forget who I am.
Yeah, I wrote him an email about it, and he didn't get back to me yet. So I imagine he must be getting pissed off. Anyway.
Yes. Well, Well, there's the giving thing, isn't there? Asking without giving.
What do you mean without giving? I just gave him a lot of money for rent.
Yes, you could also give him more. He could also ask for more, but he doesn't. Okay. Point made.
Right. Anyway.
You don't get something for nothing.
I tried to give.
Nothing is free.
I tried to give, actually. When they were both not able to really go anywhere, because he was after, he had the operation and his wife was busy. I offered that I will bring them the post that they had, because they had a post in the mailbox for like a month.
Yeah.
But Katka said, no, I'll come and pick it up. And then she probably forgot. And that's what
people don't forget.
I don't know. That's what the landlord said. He said, she probably forgot about it.
People don't forget. They only prioritize.
Yeah. I thought it probably wasn't a priority. Yeah.
Because they don't. And if someone tells you, I forgot, that just means it was not a priority for me. It was not important for me.
Mm-hmm.
This idea that people forget. I mean, that's ridiculous. You can remember what what your favorite ice cream was when you were 10 years old, probably. You're not going to forget something important that needs to be done in your life. And if you do forget it, it's just like, well, that didn't matter to me anyway. So, this idea when people say, oh, I just forgot, it's like, well, you just picked up a way to, flip off people in a way that they don't understand that you're flipping them off.
Chocolate and lemon.
Strawberry vanilla.
Yeah?
Oh, you're talking about, I thought it was a game.
My favorite flavor of ice cream when I was 10 years old, which was chocolate and lemon together, a combination of chocolate and lemon.
I like the
one scoop of
I like
chocolate,
the
one scoop
soft
of lemon.
whipped ice cream with the chocolate flake in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I later on learned that that was all really unhealthy stuff, and I shouldn't have had it anyway. This thing about parents giving bad stuff to their kids, pretending it's special. Hello, I mean, guys, please wake up, right? Just don't. It's not special when you give your kids bad shit, right? That's bad for them. Telling them it's a nice treat. It's not. It's not clever. It's not big. It's not nice.
Says the person
Grow
who
up.
said marshmallows would be a nice thing to do on the Christmas Eve.
For me.
You can't do it for yourself and not do it for anybody else.
Oh,
You can't.
said the person who we were going through old pictures, and the only reason it came up was because there was a picture of you with a giant cup full of cream and chocolate and marshmallows sticking your tongue into it, right?
Yes, but I wasn't drinking it alone. Somebody
What's
was
that got to-
there sitting opposite to me drinking the same thing.
Was that? Are you sure?
We always both had hot chocolate.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure whether you always went for the cream and marshmallows with
I don't
me,
think
but
I went for the cream and marshmallows because you can't get at the chocolate if there's cream and marshmallows on the top of it.
yes, you
It's not
can. You
very
just have
practical.
to eat the cream and marshmallows first.
Yeah, like a giant vacuum cleaner, right?
I just licked the microphone.
Lick the mic. It's a good job they don't make mics with different flavors, right?
That would be great. I'm
That would be
sucking on
terrible.
it.
God. No. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Right.
chocolate and lemon. That was really good.
I have a question for you about something completely different.
Okay. It's
Have
extremely
the birds
important.
been using the bird feeder?
No.
No.
Yeah.
They haven't.
No.
Oh, the bird feeder needs to come down then. Because it looks...
You said calm down, not calm down.
I haven't noticed any hyperactivity on the part of
Well,
the
it looks a
bird
bit
feeder out
shaky
there
right now. Look at
at
that.
the window there.
Looks like it's got an epileptic thing going on.
It's not secured. It's not secured properly. Anyway, yeah, it needs to come down because I thought if it's serving a practical function, then it can stay. If it's not serving a practical function, then it's ugly as hell and it bugs me. So
You can't say that out loud. Zora made it.
Oh dear. Well, it's painted really well for a 4-year-old. There we go.
5.
Now, she probably did it when she was 4, right? Yes.
I can't remember. I don't think so. It was last Monday. She's 5 already.
Last Monday, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, I remember Jazzy coming back.
It was a
going,
weekend,
"I was
7
feeding
days
the-
ago.
Feeding the birds. I was feeding the birds. Right. Well, I think it might be disturbing for the neighbors, actually.
What? How?
I don't know.
How can it be disturbing to the neighbors? They can't even see what's on their balcony.
It does look quite freaky from the other side.
Which side?
Well, it looks like we've just hung up a milk carton.
Well, we did. Only we painted it first and made some holes in it
Yeah, it looks
Give
like
it a
a
beak.
hanging milk carton full of holes serving no purpose.
with eyes.
What?
With eyes and beak and wings.
Yeah, we know that those are eyes and the baby's wings, right? There's a high probability that nobody else on the planet knows that.
You're so uptight.
What?
You're so uptight.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Me.
Mm-hmm.
It might be because of the change of times today. Might be because of the disorganization.
It's my fault.
Somebody was disorganized.
Because I was disorganized. I know, I was disorganized. This was a new task that I'm working on in translation.
My arm's getting burnt by the sun.
Oh my gosh, can I blow on it? Is that going to help?
I should have worn long sleeves.
No, you shouldn't have, because you'd be sweating like me right now. Yeah.
Sweating like you.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
Exactly.
If I had a choice.
You'd rather not sweat like
If I had a choice, I'd rather not.
So what did you want to talk, did you actually want to talk to me about something important, or was it just about the bird?
Well, there is no bird.
The milk carton.
The milk carton is not a bird. Right?
Well, I
am actually sweating. I should have worn shorts.
Take your pants off. They can't see it.
It's almost December. I was about to say it's December. It's almost December.
It's almost December. So 27th, is it?
It'll be December on... No, well, the 27th. Soon. Oh, you mean the day today?
Is it the 26th or the 27th?
I thought you were going like, it's December on the 27th. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's the 27th today, isn't it?
I have to check my watch. It's 12 and the 27th, right?
Yes, it'll be December soon, in 3 days, 4 days, 3
Friday.
or 4, depending on how you look at it.
30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest of 31, except for February, which nobody fucking knows. Is that a good rhyme?
I've got a better way to find out which month is.
You bet you use your fingers somehow.
Use the knuckles.
Knuckles?
Yeah.
Ah, great.
Each hump is 31.
What?
And each hole is 30.
Humps and holes.
Yeah. So you've got January, February. Well, everybody knows February is 28, so it doesn't count. What? January, February, March, April, May, June, July.
What does a hump mean?
Hump means 31. And the
February, March, April, May, June, July. What happens when I get past
August? You've got the second hand.
But I can't point because I'm using.
Well, then you use the other hand.
Nose.
And then you go August, and you see July and August are right next to each other. Both of them have 31 days, right? So it's July, August, and then you go September, October, November, December.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July.
Uh-huh.
August, September, October, November, December.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
But I've got an extra knuckle here. What's that for?
Well, you can use it whatever you want for.
Whatever you want for.
Oh, is that not English?
No, it's not. Do you want a piece of cheese?
No, I'm fine. You can have it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit rubbery.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they make car tires out of the same stuff that they make this cheese out of.
Probably, yeah. It's the Slovak tasteless cheese kind of thing.
Really? I'm pretty sure. I mean, you could use this to, balance a table. That
maybe you can carve cheese statues. Do you think that's a job, to carve cheese statues? I'm pretty sure somebody does it.
I bet you the farmers markets would go for that. Right.
I imagine that, well, I know that people make cheese into shapes by, pouring it into a mold in the first place, like they do oszczepok, right?
That's if it is cheese and it's not actually glue and something.
But I'm pretty sure somebody must carve cheese as well. It must be a job. Cheese
Our
carver.
friend who has the chocolate company.
Is a cheese carver.
Lyra Chocolate. Best chocolate in the world. Not joking, actually. I typed in chocolates to Pinterest, and you know what the first thing that came up was?
Lyra Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Good.
I know, it's cool. And then I was like, that's crazy. So I clicked on it to see what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there was a website with the top 15 packages for chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a marketing and design site.
Yeah.
And
they keep winning prizes with
Lyra had number 3 in the world.
Yeah.
In the world, they were number 3 for their packaging.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, they are
and
great.
I was sitting in Thomas's office, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not going to believe this. I was like, why? Like, you're number 3 in the world. It's like, what? And he was like, my God, he owns the company. He didn't even realize they were number 3 in the world. Yeah. And then, and so he was calling his workers going, hey, look, guys, did you know that we were? The guys are like, Jasny. No, pracujemy, Chelsea. Blah, blah, and all the other classic Slovak phrases.
Yeah.
Which led me into a big rant about how Slovaks are so rude on the telephone.
They're only rude for British.
Or they're rude to each other because they don't know how to talk on the telephone. There's not one single Slovak person that actually knows how to communicate on the telephone.
Says the British. This is your British point of view.
We invented the telephone.
Listen, if
we know we created polite communication. I know I don't fucking use it, but it's there. Alright? We did. And the Slovaks don't. The Slovaks still think that telephones are 1920s technology. Yeah, they think that you have to hold them really close to your head and shout as if the other person is on the other side of a canyon or an abyss or the planet or something. And because you can always hear when someone's on the phone, you can always hear what the person at the other end is saying because they're shouting. It's
the big business guys do it. No, I mean I've seen it's like the stereotype, right? This huge man, you know, your usual Banska Bystrica huge man with a phone, doing his business in his business suit, going Jasne, urobíme neboj, shouting into his phone.
They all shout at each other constantly. Nobody knows how to communicate properly on the telephone. Nobody listens either. That's why I give up answering my telephone, because I would try to have conversations with people, and they wouldn't listen to anything that I said. It's just ridiculous. They've all got their own agendas and ideas. It's like, you do know how a conversation works, guys, don't you? No, and they're not able to answer any question directly. So
some people are like useless. That. Yeah. Some people are like that.
So
I've noticed that, and it makes conversations so difficult because you're trying to get some answers or, you know, just anything, some information, and you're not getting it because they keep talking about whatever they want to talk about.
The average Slovak person answers the telephone. Sure. Says.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Or
well, maybe I just know. I just know people who are above average then.
Well, you might.
Probably.
It's possible. There are a few of them.
Because they all say prosim or hello.
Oh God, no! Please, not the bad pronunciation of hello.
Or they say it's not a bad pronunciation of hello.
They've got it wrong. Yes, it is. They pick up the phone. They go hello, and it's like no, it's got an E, not an A. And they're like, oh, it's the Slovak version. No, you copied it badly from English and tried to make it your own. It doesn't have a root in the Slovak language, right? It comes from the English language. And
like 90% of English words are not the original Celtic words, right? Like you've got 90% of your words come from French and Latin and Saxons and Germans and Vikings and whoever else was in your country. That's normal. That's how language works, for crying out loud. It's a normal language process.
The best parts of each language.
Take Latin. Oh my goodness gracious. We had to have a whole lesson about how English people pronounce Latin words, because English speaking people don't pronounce them the way they should be pronounced, the way that people who originally spoke Latin pronounce them.
Modern English people.
No, English people are going to pronounce them English way. So you don't understand, even though they speak the same language.
Excuse us, we have the copy of Kids' book. What's happening, Jazzy?
Can you draw a lion?
I can draw a lion. I'm not sure if I can draw a lion. Can you make sure that she doesn't either hit her head on the little table here or lean on it?
French words! I mean, look at how English people pronounce the word ballet. Ballet! It's a ballet.
I pronounce it correct. Look at the way the Slovaks all go to the ballet, and then they go to the buffet, and then they walk on the parquet.
So like ballet, buffet.
The Slovaks have no idea.
Peugeot. Pujo. How do you pronounce it?
It's
Pujo?
the French language. Is it Peugeot in French, no?
Yes.
In Slovak, it's Peugeot.
Yeah.
And you say the French word, and people are like, "Oh, I've never heard of that
And you're
before."
like Pujo. What?
The Slovaks have no idea what they're talking about. That they live in their own little bubble of unreality.
Says him, the Scottish Ubermensch.
Thank you. I'll accept that as a compliment. Right. I know it's not, but there you go. Here's another piece of cheese, darling.
This is the problem in Great Britain.
I have to draw a line.
British people are so hoity-toity. That's why all Scottish people have noses like that.
Scottish people are very down to earth.
Obviously.
We've got our feet on the
Obviously.
ground. Yeah.
Obviously.
We were fucked over constantly. We're quite civilized as a result.
Right. You've just proved it.
Yes. I'm completely civilized apart from when I'm not.
Apart from when you're complaining about those effing Slovak people.
The beaches.
He's using fruit as swear words.
To the beaches. As they say. To the beaches! To the beaches!
Draw a lion for crying out loud.
I don't know how to... Look, there's instructions here. I don't know how to draw a lion.
Give it to me.
Do you know how to draw a lion?
Yes, I know how to draw a lion.
Without the instructions?
No, with the instructions.
Careful. You can't...
It's going to take me about...
You can't
I'm not going to lean on that.
Well, you're supposed to be doing a podcast, not drawing a lion.
I am doing a podcast and drawing a lion at the same time.
You're sticking your head down. All the people can do is see the top of your head.
My top of my head is beautiful.
The top of your head is...
all the people are really lucky to be able to see the top of my head.
Well, why can't you let me hold it for you so at least your head will be up, please?
Well, okay.
You're not thinking about what you're doing.
See? It's a foot. That's the...
Why has it got a square nose?
That's a nose.
What's
eyes.
Oh.
It's the ears.
Oh.
That's the mouth. And the paws.
Like a dog.
And this weird tail. And that's the mane.
It's starting to look like me.
No, your mane is not that nice.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Bum, bum, bum.
It's a lion! Roar.
You are a winner.
I know.
That's pretty good.
Josie, would you like that? Do you want to take it? You can draw another line, yeah? You take it. Okay. Go practice your artistic skills.
Yeah, don't forget the
take
pen. I'm never going to see my pens again.
Nope.
Yeah.
They are not your pens anymore.
No, my pens yesterday. They were given to Zora specifically on the condition that she would return them to me.
Yeah, but she couldn't because then she gave them to Will to draw because he wanted to try. And he wasn't given the instructions.
Well, that doesn't make it okay. She should have come to me and told me that she gave the pens to Will rather than giving them to me. That's just an excuse to do the wrong thing.
Did you talk to her about it?
Not yet. Not yet, but I will.
Yeah, but you always say that the crime has to be addressed at the time of the crime.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
So it might be too late now.
You're absolutely right. It might be. It might be too late. See, I did a presentation on that the other day. So
I know.
Yes. What was the title of the presentation? I can't even remember what it was.
I can't remember the title. I just remember the idea.
The time changes the crime. I knew it would come back to me. Time changes the crime. Address issues when they happen, because if you try to do it at a later date, you have to deal with the issue of time as well, which is irreversible.
Do you spell P-O-O-P? Or is that just you?
How long? Look, it's 29 minutes and 15 seconds before she mentions poo. 20?
I think it might be you.
You've got an obsession. It's not me. I smell.
I have obsession because my child is potty training. When your child is potty training, you are constantly scanning for puddles and sausages.
Excuse me?
Constantly scanning for puddles and sausages.
Right.
To
Well,
make sure you don't find any
yeah. Well,
randomly
you know,
anywhere by stepping into it.
right. Well, I did actually think that there was something on the yoga mat yesterday, which wasn't.
Yeah, you see.
I did.
Get into yourself.
I was like, that could be dirt, or it could be the remains of a disaster. But
Yeah, but it was.
that's the way it goes. Yeah, we didn't do my plan at the weekend. I backed out. I chickened out of the recommended Christmas viewing.
Yeah.
And it still bugs me that I can't find a way to present it in a proper or nice way, except to put the link to the thing on Facebook and go, this is great. There doesn't seem to be I thought there must be a better way to do it, or to talk about it, or to integrate it.
Did you watch
somehow.
other Skype videos that do these things, like best 5 movies?
Well, yeah, you've got like the BuzzFeed, which, like, you know, they spend $500,000 on making a video that lasts 1 minute, right?
Mm.
And then you've got me and my old computers and systems, and I'm trying to tape stuff together so it doesn't fall apart. So, yeah, it just bothers me, because I thought that would make a nice sort of top 10 video, and we could share it, and people would like it, enjoy it, and it would all be.
We could just draw pictures on papers and just lift them up as we talk about old style. Just write down the name of the film with a marker and little pictures underneath, like the perfect present, and draw a little Christmas present underneath. Put a little glitter on it, play jingle bells.
Well, I think there's a market for reviewing those kinds of things that people don't know about, because it's a very small orientation of a very large market. For example, I was checking out some basic information on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And there's some of these nicer sort of made-for-TV Christmas films that people record them and then put them up on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many people do that? One person does that. You know how many people share that? About 10 people on the entire planet. There's only 10 people doing this.
Is it illegal?
No, because actually the television channels want people to do that. Because the more people that get the show, the more people that come back in to the source of it, right? Otherwise, people wouldn't get it at all. They wouldn't know about it at all, and they would have no contact with it at all, and nobody else would share it. It's like the Microsoft software puzzle, which Microsoft and Apple both created software, right? But Microsoft software had very weak coding. Not coding. What do you call it when you have like some kind of protection on it so other people can't copy it. Other people can't copy it. There's a name for that. Anyway, Microsoft's one was very weak protection on purpose, knowing that people would break the protection and copy it and share it with other people.
And it would spread faster.
Yeah, exactly. It was all a marketing strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the same with the TV shows. That they'll tell you that, oh no, we don't want people to copy it, but actually they do.
Oh, is that your lion?
It's the same way that we're having a very important conversation. What's that?
That's a lion.
That's a lion.
Mm.
Is it lion?
Super cool.
Is it lion?
Yeah.
See, I just saw last week there was a big story on the internet about a rock band, Buck Cherry, who were like really angry that their new single got released onto the internet, and one of the pirating companies had the software to trace the source of who leaked it, and it was the band. Right? They actually want the stuff leaked out because that channels people back in. And creates a buzz about what's going on. So the idea that they want to keep things copyrighted is ridiculous. They want to limit the period of time when people can't get it and then put it out, right? and because this gets the word out to more people, and then more people get involved in the subject, the topic, the merchandising, and everything else surrounding it.
Doesn't change the fact that it's illegal officially, right?
Yeah, that's a question. So that's still a question. There are impracticalities within the laws in various countries. For example, in some countries you can't make copies of anything at all, which is stupid. And in some countries you can make copies of things, but only for personal use, which is also stupid. Because that means it's illegal if your friends come to your house and they watch your copy, right?
Yeah, that's
that's insane, right? So basically, the laws are designed so that everyone's breaking the law all the time.
Well, no, because I think the law is done so that you can't copy and sell it.
No one's selling anything, though. No one's selling anything. Everybody's sharing stuff for free with everyone else.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Right? So no one's making, no one is making a personal profit from this.
Mm-hmm.
You could argue about internet traffic, but those are just fucking lawyer idiots, right? Who just arguments for argument's sake. It doesn't make any difference, yeah. Because no one's going to pick up anything real, and no one's selling anything real in that sense as well. And people want the on-demand services now. People want to watch stuff when and where they want to watch it. They want to listen to it when and where they want to listen to it. This is what's hindering Apple right now. What people outside America don't realize is there's a market outside of Apple, and America's been all Appleized, and they're now having big problems with
That's
this.
the principle that Amazon works on, no? You know, you wanna watch something here and now. All you have to do is pay a couple of euros and get a film, get series, or get whatever.
Yes, there's a whole background to that people are not aware of, though. I mean, people don't know that Google, Facebook, Amazon, Target, Walmart, and various other institutions that front themselves as private/public companies are actually intelligence agencies. They've all been set up as data collection for governments, but that's a long story.
Get a tissue. She wants a tissue. Do you have one?
Will, can you get a tissue for your sister, please? It's over there on the bench.
How about this one here?
It's over there on the desk, right over there.
I already gave her some.
Bring them over and put them on the floor in the middle in case she wants some more. Okay. There you go. Oh, thank you very much for returning one. She doesn't work for the government. Right. So they were all set up as intelligence agencies fronts, the same way that basically charities don't really work as charities most of the time. So this people don't realize that when they're working for Amazon, they're working basically as data tracking and information systems, which themselves have a practical use. The same way, the postal services weren't set up by people who thought, oh, it's a great idea to send postcards. They were set up by the banks in order to read people's mails so that they would know who was doing what where. The Rothschilds Bank set up the first international European postal service. So, as I said, there's a lot of things that people don't know. And the Amazon idea is great, but I think Amazon only has outreach into 10 countries. Their tablet release was Amazon Prime is only in a maximum of 10 countries worldwide. Yeah. I know because I checked this last year.
Is it not in Slovakia?
Nope. And the Amazon the Amazon Fire, their tablet application was a major disaster for the company because it didn't work.
Oops.
Right. I mean, they invested billions in that, and it was a complete failure.
Oh, I mentioned somebody must have gotten fired for that.
Well, no, because people don't understand that the agency doesn't really operate on profits they make from customers. Also, they do the criminal act of, what is it, 60% of your book when someone buys it on Amazon. 60% of your book goes to Amazon. 60% of the price. I mean that's
crazy.
That's insane. That's completely insane. And they try to corner the market so that you have to have your books there, but that just devalues your book and doesn't give you enough money to live off of.
Unless you're like a best-selling thing.
You have to sell it yourself now. You have to sell it on your own site. Nothing wrong
absolutely.
with that. But
they do that cool thing, the printing on demand, though, don't they?
Yeah, but it's not difficult to do that anyway. I mean, that's like the only reason why they did that was because people were doing it anyway. No?
I know there are other companies that offer that. But...
What do you mean, the printing and sending?
Print on demand. You don't have a stock of books, but anytime somebody orders your book, they print it out and send it.
Yeah.
It's good for beginning when you don't know if anybody's going to buy the book. I mean, rather than having 2,000 books printed.
Does that mean if I wanted a printed copy of my digital book?
Sorry, what?
Does that mean if I wanted a printed copy of my digital book, Amazon would print it and send it to me?
I think you have to set up a system for it with them, but
okay. See, it's all about setting up. So, see, I spent 2 to 3 weeks looking at the Amazon data for putting things on Amazon.
I'm eating your cheese.
And she said,
I'm really hungry.
I know, I noticed. We'll talk about lunch at the end. It's going
to be sauerkraut halushki.
Oh, what would be a polite word? Revamping of
recycled lunch, yeah.
Recycled weekend foods. I think that's good because too many people throw out too much food anyway. So recycle and use it is definitely a good thing.
And there's still rice from Saturday, but I'm not sure I can.
I had this. Did I tell you about my food policy when I was living in the flat by myself?
Yeah.
I told you that I only ate what I had, and I wasn't allowed to buy any new food until I ate what I had.
Did you buy it one by one? And now I only eat butter.
No, I would go to the supermarket and I would buy what I thought I needed for 2 or 3 days. And then I would force myself to eat all of everything that I bought before I went and bought anything else. So I couldn't buy anything new until I ate everything that was there. It was interesting.
Well, what if you had a lot of vegetables and you ran out of bread? Did you
then I'd
cut up the
vegetables and eat the vegetables. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna waste any of the food that I buy.
Obviously, you wouldn't do it with condiments like ketchup or mustard, right? I'm going to suck out all the ketchup before I buy more bread.
Well, no, because you'd need that to mix with, and I wouldn't do that with ketchup. I'd do that with things
that go off, I imagine, right?
Well, no, the ketchup's got lots of sugar in it, so I'd look for mustards that didn't have a lot of sugar in it and stuff, and other things like that to try to keep it all healthy. So I didn't mix things with
horseradish.
So yeah, exactly. So I had a couple of different jars of things, and when all the basics were used up, I would use other stuff. So and that also kept things tidy and clean and organized as well, because it didn't mean I had lots of stuff in lots of places that I didn't use. It was I knew exactly what I had and I had to eat it, and that was that.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times when it was I was I could really eat something right now, but I was just fucking, I'm just gonna go hungry. I don't care, because half the planet doesn't have enough food anyway, so why should I complain about going hungry for a couple of hours?
Yeah.
So people don't realize how fucking lucky they are. They complain about they complain about what the classic example, Wi-Fi on airplanes and things like that, and other people don't have food to eat. People complain about the mark on their shirt, and it's other people can't even afford shirts, right? So people complain about, oh, my car's making a noise. At least you've got a car, right? So,
It's so relative, though. So relative.
well, it's about being practical. I mean, my perspective was, it was an experiment with myself to see if it was possible, because theoretically it's not a problem to do that, but you try and do it practically, you sort of run into little problems that you didn't realize were there, as you do with every experiment, right?
I can imagine doing it by myself, but I definitely cannot imagine doing it with kids and you.
Well, you see how I am with food. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, anything. If there's food, I'll eat it, and I prefer if it's healthy.
Yeah.
Or food. Although those cookies last night were really good.
Really good, weren't
Yeah,
they?
really good. Very sweet.
I found half of one under the sofa today.
And you ate it, I imagine.
Well, it wasn't completely under the sofa.
It's only half under the sofa. Ah, well, there you go. There you go. How do we get onto that? How did we get onto that? Okay. There was something else. Oh, before we get into something else.
What's the time? How are we time-wise? Because
I'm fine for time today.
I'm on a schedule.
I'm not the one with the...
Yeah, I know. That's
Look,
why I'm
there's
asking.
a clock here.
Yeah.
There's another clock over there. There's another clock here. There's a clock on the shelf over. There's 4 o'clock.
Well, let's give it another 15
There's
minutes.
a clock here. 5, 6. There's another clock here.
20. Another 20 minutes.
What?
Let's give it another 20 minutes, shall we?
Yes, we'll see. Jazzy ripped the cover off that magazine this morning.
Yeah.
That annoyed me. Not because it was my magazine, because that would have annoyed me even more. But
yeah,
the fact that Zora was reading it and Jazzy just came and ripped the cover
Jazzy
off.
has the thing where she goes and pulls things out of other people's hands, just like
Is
that.
it because she doesn't realize how strong she is?
No. She does realize how strong she is. That's why she does it.
Yeah.
Well,
she might have been like testing.
No, when she wants something, she tries to get it. It's as simple as that.
Ooh, just like me.
I see the magazine, I take it. It's my magazine. Pull. Oh, look, it ripped.
Yeah, maybe she's just used to like heavier things and other stuff. Like maybe she thought it was like a tablet or something.
Yeah, but that's a problem. The fact that she doesn't ask for things, she just comes and takes them. That's the problem. It's not the problem that she ripped the magazine. The problem is the actual concept of just going and taking. She does it with everything. I'm trying to, kind of guide her in the right direction, and I know she will understand eventually because Zora did and William did, and there is no reason why she shouldn't. But it's a process, kids only really get all these things around the age between 3 and 4. I would say 4.
Well,
before they're 4, they are not going to, cognitively be able to listen to your every demand, or I don't know how to say it normally.
Anyone to listen to my every demand.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. They can't process it cognitively. They can. The emotional is on top of the cognitive.
The emotional is on top of the cognitive.
I want it, it's mine. I'll grab it, and if you don't let me grab it, I'm going to scream my head off. Okay. And the cognitive is, okay, I understand that we're taking turns, and I will be able to have it in 2 minutes. But the emotional is on top of the cognitive. It's not. It's like, ooh.
What? Excuse me? What is it like? Can you do that again?
Ooh.
Oh, that's how I know. That's what I should look for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cognitive is somewhere here going, you shouldn't do that.
Okay. That is a very interesting perspective.
Yes, only around 4 years. In my experience, are the kids able to, consciously, cognitively go, okay, if they feel strongly about something, because they can cooperate with you earlier ages, but if they really strongly feel about something, it's not up to the age of 4 that they can actually, put that emotion kind of aside and say, okay, I get it.
Is it about resisting the urge, or?
I think so. I think it has something to do with the short-term and long-term gratification, and the regulation. Basically, they don't have the capacity to regulate the strong emotions yet.
Okay. Social and emotional skills. What to expect at different ages.
On topic.
Got a list here. Infants and babies. I'll read through it and you tell me if it registers.
Okay.
Okay. Infants and babies. 2 months. They should start to smile, look directly at you, cry to get needs met, and occasionally self-soothe by sucking on hands and fingers.
Yeah.
Sounds like a couple of women that I know. Anyway, never mind. Sorry. It was a truth! True statement! True statement! Don't crucify me. It's just the truth.
She's silly.
Right. Shall I move on?
Whatever.
Oh, there's... How to be decisive with Yanka. When's that podcast coming out? How to make decisions.
I don't have a problem making decisions.
Oh, no, that's coming out after the How to Get Organized podcast.
I have a problem with you being
with me
really silly. Really silly.
Moi?
Yes, vous, monsieur.
Mon Dieu.
But never mind. You can continue.
Mon Dieu. C'est très...
Couple of women that
unbelievable.
You know.
What's unbelievable in French?
Incroyable.
Like incredible. But what's the prefix?
Incroyable.
Incroyable. I just sound like being pulled backwards through a meat grinder.
You do. Yeah.
How can the French say that? That must be a really hard word.
How do you think they have the big noses?
They speak out their noses.
Yeah.
That must be really snotty speech. Incroyable! Yeah.
Yep.
Like that?
Yep, just like that.
Okay. Right. We did watch American in Paris the other day. I made Zora watch it. She loved it. She fell asleep. Right.
Right. Let's watch it again tonight then.
Gene Kelly's smooth moves. Right. 4 months. By 4 months, children should be able to smile and play spontaneously, cry when you stop playing, and begin to engage with you by imitating faces you make.
I honestly can't remember, but I imagine they're right.
I can't remember. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Right. It sounds right.
Let's have another baby and see.
Okay. Right. I can't, because there's always a baby in the middle of the bed.
Yeah, I know.
Oh! Hello, darling. Are you coming to join us? Did you sleep okay last night?
She did go to sleep in her own bed, but she always comes.
Did you sleep
she always
okay
wakes
last
up
night?
in the middle of the night.
You know what she did in the middle of the night? I was
us.
lying
Yeah.
with my arms sort of extended, kind of hands behind head.
You started to tug on your hair, no?
Well, she was halfway down the bed and she wanted to move up to the top of the bed. So she reached out, grabbed my arm hair, and pulled herself up to the top of the bed using my underarm hair. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced someone trying to rip out your underarm hair while you were asleep in the middle of the night, but it's pretty disturbing.
I know how that feels, actually. I'm not sure about the middle of...
Piece of cheese.
Oh.
Maybe Will can cut it.
Will, can you cut a piece of cheese for Jasmine? It's on the bench in the kitchen, please.
Will will get you some. Take the bowl through and get Will to put the cheese in the bowl for you. Okay? Okay. Okay. Like that.
But yeah, when I was younger, do you know that machine that I have for pulling your leg hair out?
No, because you don't pull my leg hair out. My legs.
Okay, not your leg hair, my leg hair. Do you know
You said you were, though.
It's that little, I know. It's that little machine that pulls my leg hair out. one by one.
Is it the thing that has these this
yeah, the little tweezers that kind of twist. Yeah, and pull things out. Yeah, that sounds like a lawnmower.
It looks like a lawnmower.
It's got the same effect.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, when I was younger, I would use it on my armpit parts of my body. So I know how that feels. Anyway.
Yeah, but not while you were asleep.
Well, no, obviously.
Like you're, and then suddenly it's like, oh my God, am I having a heart attack?
Well, I've, you know, did you ever breastfeed a teething baby in the night?
I tried.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you know how it feels when suddenly somebody bites your nipple off in the middle of the night while you're sleeping?
I have had girlfriends.
Not like that. Trust me.
Not like that.
Not like that. It's not anywhere near that. Oh wow! You gonna take one? Thank you, Will. Did you say thank you to Will?
Okay, what is it near to then? If it's not near to that.
What? What is it near to?
Yes.
Well, I can go and grab the pliers from your tool set and hang them on your nipple, and then tug them softly for 15 minutes.
And can you attach them to an electrical socket at the same time?
That would be nearer.
That would be nearer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, after I finish tugging them softly, you just go.
Oh, my balls just shrunk.
Well, that's what the kids used to. That's what I used to do. She used to nurse when she was teething, right? She used to nurse, and she would nurse, and then at the end of the nursing, when she was like, "Oh, there's no more milk. What am I going to do now?" she would bite.
To get more milk?
No, just for fun. Just because she was like, "Oh, look, I've got new teeth. I'm going to try them out." Yeah, she's like anyway.
That's all I can say.
She also used to pinch. And that was really annoying.
Good job, Jazzy.
It's so annoying because she would be, she'd be like eating here, her head here, and her hand here. And while she was eating, she'd be going. I'm not sure
this is a good idea. What are you doing? Why are you?
She's doing that while she was eating. With her whole hand, because obviously, like.
That's weird. Okay. 9 months. We might get to 1 year if we're lucky. 9 months. Start to well, we're doing a podcast. Can you not crash into the chairs? By 9 months, start to show stranger anxiety. Start to prefer some toys over others, and may cry when familiar faces are not around. So again, it still sounds like a lot of adults to me. It's like if you recategorize this as, do you know any adults who do these things? Like, tick, tick, tick.
At 8 months, kids are also going through a lot in their lives developmentally, and it very often reflects in their sleeping patterns. And their sleep can get really bad because they usually, it's combined factors of the kids starting to crawl, them being more receptive to everything that's happening around them. They're beginning to learn how to talk. They're not saying first words just yet, but they're processing a lot of language. Yeah. And they probably, did I say that already? They probably start teething at the same time. And it's all, they start standing up and getting new points of view. They're getting much more power, much more say. They're starting to get the separation anxiety, as you just said. And it all influences sleeping patterns. So a lot of people between the ages of 8, 9 months old, a lot of mothers are like, oh my gosh, something's happening with my baby. You want to go to sleep. They want, it takes ages for them to go down. They wake up very often at night, and it's all developmental. Do you remember Jasmine at 8 months old? Do you remember what she used to do? when I would have to push that freaking pram up and down and turn the pages with my nose on the tablet.
More cheese, Jazzy.
She wouldn't.
Here you go.
She wouldn't go to sleep normally. I had to put her to sleep in a pram for about 2 months.
Of course I remember. I remember the famous video of you turning the pages on your tablet with your nose.
Yeah, that was crazy. I thought I was gonna go nuts because I wouldn't go to sleep until like 3 o'clock in the morning because there was no point because she would just wake up and scream, and nothing could put her down. So yeah, continue please.
Right. I've done this wrong. I've read 2 months, 4 months, and 9 months, but this being a weird infographic that I'm taking.
There's also 6 months.
There's also 6 months, but 6 months is on the other side. I thought it would be like this. It's going round in a circle, and I thought it was.
Oh, forget about 6 months then. Go on. Just keep
going. No. I want to cover all the points. So in case you're wondering about this period between 4 and.
This is really nice bowl.
9 months. It's also empty.
It's brown and blue, turquoise.
Am I boring you?
Yeah.
6 months. The children are more aware of which people are familiar, which people are strangers. They can respond to your emotions by crying, smiling, or laughing, and they can enjoy looking at themselves in the mirror.
Yes, I think that kids respond to your emotions all the time, though. I think they start doing that since they're born. I think they can feel. They can feel the emotion of the mother. I think it's connected to the physical connection they had in the belly because they get all the hormones. You know, when you're angry, they're angry basically because your bloodstreams are connected. So they get all your anything that carries the emotion, right? The hormones, the stress hormones and everything. So I think that might be why they can sense it when they're born, after they're born. You know, when you're nervous, they're going to be nervous.
Absolutely. All of these things apply to adults as much as they apply to babies. It's crazy. Okay, next, 12 months. Right, moving on. 1 year. They should be able to play favorites with familiar people, have people they like more than others.
Okay.
They should be more interactive, for example, in terms of choosing toys or books or with specific noises to get attention, and they should enjoy simple interactive games, the classic peekaboo.
Yeah. It's by 12 months approximately. Okay, it's individual, but approximately the 12 months is when the type of attachment that the child has to the mother or father is defined. That's why they pick favorite people over other people because it depends on the attachment, right? They're going to trust more to their parents if the attachment to the parents is healthy. That's why that Bowlby, for example, doesn't recommend institutionalizing of children under the age of 1 because a child has to have in that period of life a primary person that they can be safely attached to. If they don't have that, they're in constant stress, and that stress influences the brain. And as I told you, it can go as far as centers of brain basically shutting down and dying off.
No, they don't develop, right?
Yeah, they don't develop. If you're under constant stress, if you're under constant survival stress, you can't grow. Right.
Well, you can't at that stage in life. Of course, it's different for adults when they try to process the information because they've got.
Yeah, adults are adults. Yeah, I'm talking about the very early development of the brain. So yeah, that's yeah.
So
that's
yeah,
it. That's it. That's the point. Yes.
That's the point. Right. We could go on to talk about a few more things, but I know we're limited for time today. If people are interested in more information about the social and emotional skills and what to expect at different ages, we're using the information which is an infographic from the site Understood, written by Amanda Maureen. There we go. So that's the source. And if people want more information, I will post something online for them, but they have to ask for it as usual.
They're going grey.
Me, it's not the beard, it's me. I'm going grey. It's the stress. I'm old now, you see. So there we go. So I'll finish with a little story, right?
Okay.
Very quickly. I was at the pool the other day. I bumped into somebody I haven't seen for a long period of time, and we were talking about kids, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm still trying to have another kid, blah blah blah," but you know, it's difficult because I'm old. I was like, "Oh, how old are you?" "Oh, I'll be 50 next year." And I was like, yeah, it must be difficult. I was processing the ages myself, and I was thinking, you know, I'm not gonna, if I have another kid, I'm not gonna see the kid reach 40 statistically, and that's a kind of powerful realization to have. And he was like looking at me like, what? And I said, well, if you're 50 and you have another kid, if you want to see your kid reach 40, you'll have to be 90. And like the average man dies at what, I don't know, 70, 75, something like that, right? So the chances of you seeing your kid reach 40 are zero, right?
Oh, not zero.
Zero, like 5%. I don't know. I mean, it's being how many people live? What percentage of men live to be age 90?
I don't know.
Less than 1%.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. My dad lived until he was 83, which was quite.
Well, that proves my
old.
point. That proves my point. Okay.
Yeah, no.
That absolutely proves my point.
But that means that you still have about 2 months to breed.
Something like that. But it was just the realization of that he hadn't projected the future consequence of things. And of course that was to be expected because a lot of people don't actually, you know, plan much more further forward than the meal that they're eating.
It's not like you won't see them be 40.
Well, it is if you're dead.
It's about the fact that you may die before they're done needing you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great topic for another. That's a great topic for another podcast. We could dive deep into that because, you know, I think the aim is to give kids all the basic skills by the age of 13, and you want them to be as independent as humanly possible by the age 18. And then you're there for them if they need you beyond that, right?
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to be, you know, helicoptering around them, you know, in their 20s for sure.
Yeah.
Right? You want to have a close relationship, but not that close. So, this was the Practical Parenting Podcast. Is this the introduction?
No. That's
the
end.
Did we do an introduction? I don't even know.
It's just stretch. It's time to stretch. Crack your spine. Crack your. What's this called? Sternum.
Right. Whatever.
Only my sternum cracks. Does your sternum ever crack? My sternum cracks.
Not on purpose.
No. Every time I stretch like this.
Yeah.
I've got this cracking sound here.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
though.
super.
It feels good.
It's cracking. Right. If you want more information about what we do, the Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching on YouTube and on Facebook, lots of newsletters going out. You know, check out my Facebook stream and you can catch up with a lot of things that are going on. This is
21centurymum.com.
And there'll be a new blog post out.
Yes.
See, you got to catch up with yourself. Right?
I have to catch up with myself, but it's okay. I'll do it.
Say bye to the people.
Bye, people.
Bye, people. Wherever you are, have a great day, and we'll be back online this week with lots more stuff coming up, and maybe a few interviews as well, if we can get it all set up and organized.
Yes.
How cool would that be? That would be super cool.
You don't want to miss that.
Take it easy, have a great day, and stay peaceful, practical, positive, proactive, and all the other good words that begin with P. TTFN.